You've probably been told the reason you still have belly fat is that you're not trying hard enough. More discipline, more willpower, more sacrifice. And if you're watching this video, chances are you've already tried all three, and the belly fat is still there. So let's get something straight right now. The problem was never you. The problem is something your body is doing invisibly, automatically, every single hour of the day, and no amount of effort can override a hormonal mechanism you don't even know is running. Here's the counterintuitive truth that changes everything. Japan has one of the lowest rates of visceral fat and one of the highest healthy life expectancies on the planet. And the Japanese eat white rice every single day. No low carb, no calorie obsession, no punishment disguised as a wellness plan. What Japanese metabolic scientists understood decades ago, while the rest of the world was counting calories and buying gym membership, is that belly fat isn't a storage problem, it's a hormonal problem. And the hormone responsible has a name. In the next few minutes, you're going to learn the 5-step Japanese cortisol method, a precisely sequenced daily protocol designed to dismantle the invisible hormonal mechanism that's been producing your belly fat and protecting it from every approach you've ever tried. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to do and exactly when to do it, starting tomorrow morning. No guesswork, no generic advice, just the biological truth your body has been waiting for you to find. You've been doing the work. You've tried the diets, survived the workouts, cut the carbs, skipped the meals, and yet the belly fat is still there, staring back at you every single morning. That's not a failure of discipline. That's the wrong fight. Here's what nobody tells you. Every plan you've ever followed was designed to attack the result, not the machine producing it. The fat on your abdomen isn't the problem, it's the symptom. And something invisible has been running that machine, unchallenged, every single day. You could work out twice a day for the rest of your life and never touch it. Because the real mechanism has nothing to do with how hard you push. It has everything to do with what's happening inside your body before you even tie your shoelaces. And that's the real enemy has a name. It's cortisol, your body's primary stress hormone. And after years of sustained elevation, it doesn't just spike and drop anymore. It settles. It embeds. Japanese metabolic scientists call this korutizuru tashaku, cortisol imprinting, the progressive condition where chronic stress hormone exposure literally reprograms your abdominal fat cells to treat storage as their permanent default state. Think about what that means for you. It means your fat cells have been trained, biologically conditioned, to hold on. Not because you're eating too much, not because you're moving too little, but because your hormonal environment has been sending one signal, on repeat, for years. Store everything, release nothing. This is why conventional approaches don't just underperform, they fail at the biological level. Calorie deficits, cardio sessions, clean eating plans, they're all working against a system that's already been hardwired to resist them. Until you address the cortisol imprint itself, you're not fighting belly fat. You're just exhausting yourself trying. Step 1. The reset window, the cortisol entrenchment reversal protocol. And they quit by day 10, wondering what they did wrong. What they did wrong was skip the most critical phase of the entire process. The first 7 days aren't for burning fat. They're for making fat burning biologically possible. Here's the mechanism. When cortisol imprinting is active, your body treats every new stressor, including hard exercise and aggressive calorie restriction, as a threat. That threat response triggers more cortisol. More cortisol means more abdominal fat storage. You're not just spinning your wheels. You're actively making the problem worse by pushing too hard, too soon. So for the first 7 days, your only job is to lower the cortisol baseline, not torch calories. That means moderate movement, consistent sleep, and zero crash dieting. Think of it as diffusing the alarm system before you try to open the vault. The steps that follow are designed to do exactly that, one biological lever at a time. And the first one targets the moment your cortisol is at its most dangerous peak. Lower the baseline first, then burn. Step 2. The Architect's Plate, the Ichiju Sansai Blood Sugar Stability Protocol. Every time your blood sugar crashes, your body reads it as an emergency. And in an emergency, if you're eating the way most people eat in the modern world, large meals, long gaps, processed carbs, no structure, your body is triggering that cortisol spike up to 6 times a day without you ever feeling stressed for a single second. The traditional Japanese meal structure, called Ichiju Sansai, 1 soup, 3 sides, was never designed as a diet. It was designed as balance. A small portion of miso or broth, a serving of protein, a fermented side, a vegetable. Nothing dramatic, nothing extreme. But together, these components deliver steady glucose, consistent satiety, and a hormonal environment that simply never gives cortisol a reason to spike. Here's how you apply it today. Build every meal around one warm, liquid base, even just a simple broth, paired with a protein source, a fiber-rich vegetable, and one fermented element like a small serving of kimchi, plain yogurt, or pickled vegetables. Keep portions modest. Eat every 4 to 5 hours without skipping. Your blood sugar stays flat. Your cortisol stays quiet. Your belly fat loses its most reliable daily trigger. And once that trigger is gone, the next protocol hits even harder. Steady plate, steady hormones, steady results. If you feel like your body is constantly stuck in alert mode, with poor sleep, fatigue, untimely hunger, and stubborn abdominal fat, I've prepared the complete cortisol reset bundle. Inside, you'll receive the main guide, the cortisol reset, plus 2 bonuses: low nighttime cortisol protocol and cortisol, insulin, and abdominal fat. The link is in the description. Step 3. The morning burn. Here's something most people never learn. Cortisol naturally peaks within the first 30 minutes after you wake up. It's called the cortisol awakening response, and it happens every single morning whether you want it to or not. The question isn't whether the spike occurs, it's what your body does with it next. And right now, if you're rolling over to check your phone, skipping breakfast, and rushing into your day, that cortisol isn't being processed. It's binding directly to your abdominal fat receptors and locking your belly fat cells shut for the next several hours. The Japanese practice of asa sampo, a short morning walk taken after sunrise, biochemically intercepts that process. 15 minutes of gentle, walking in natural light does 3 things simultaneously. It metabolizes the cortisol spike before it can bind, it activates your circadian rhythm to regulate hormonal output for the rest of the day, and it signals to your nervous system that the environment is safe, which is the precise neurological cue that tells your body it's no longer necessary to hold on to stored fat. You don't need running shoes. You don't need a route. Step outside within 45 minutes of waking, walk at a pace where you can speak, but wouldn't choose to, and stay out for 15 minutes minimum. No podcasts, no phone calls, just movement and morning light. That single habit, done consistently, changes the hormonal conversation your body is having every single day before 8 a.m. What happens in the evening is just as important, and just as overlooked. Own your morning. Own your metabolism. Step 4. The night shift. The Ofuro Deep Sleep Cortisol Clearance Protocol. Most people treat sleep as passive recovery, something that just happens when you finally stop moving. But your body doesn't see it that way. During the slow-wave phase of deep sleep, your pituitary gland releases a surge of growth hormone, your cortisol drops to its lowest point of the entire day, and your fat cells, finally free from hormonal suppression, begin releasing stored energy at a cellular level. That bada 11 month to your soul there, and your ficus liles, was hesping seeda, hortakika, begin releasing stored energy at a cellular level. The problem is that most people never get there. Their cortisol is still too elevated at bedtime to allow the core temperature drop that triggers that phase in the first place. The Japanese evening bath ritual, ofuro, solves this with elegant precision. Soaking in warm water between 38 and 40 degrees Celsius for 10 to 15 minutes. Approximately when you step out, your body aggressively dissipates that heat. And that rapid temperature drop is one of the most powerful physiological signals known to accelerate the transition into slow-wave sleep. Cortisol doesn't just lower, it clears. Tonight, run a warm bath, not hot, warm, and soak for 12 minutes. No screens in the bathroom, no stimulating conversations afterward. Keep the lights dim after you step out. Within 90 minutes you'll feel the shift, a heaviness in the eyes, a loosening in the shoulders. That tells you your nervous system has crossed into recovery mode. That's the exact moment your body stops defending its fat stores and starts dismantling. And there's one final lever that determines how low your cortisol floor goes, not just at night, but permanently. Cool down to burn down. Step 5. The purpose signal, the Ikigai cortisol floor suppression protocol. Here's a finding that stops most people cold when they first hear it. Japanese longevity researchers studying the populations with the lowest rates of visceral fat and the longest healthy lifespans didn't find a magic food or a perfect exercise routine as the common denominator. They found something. The people who carried the lowest resting cortisol levels weren't just eating well or sleeping enough. They woke up every morning with a reason to get out of bed that had nothing to do with obligation or survival. Ikigai, the Japanese concept of a daily sense of purpose, isn't philosophy, it's physiology. When your brain perceives your daily life as meaningful, your hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis, the exact system that controls cortisol output, operates at a measurably lower baseline. Purpose doesn't eliminate stress, but it changes your biological relationship with it. Your body stops treating ordinary daily demands as threats and starts treating them as fuel. And when that shift happens, your cortisol floor drops permanently to a level where belly fat cells finally receive the one signal they've been waiting for: release. So ask yourself an honest question right now. What part of your day do you actually look forward to? If the answer takes longer than 3 seconds, that's the real work. It doesn't need to be grand. A craft, a relationship, a project, a contribution that feels like yours. Something that pulls you forward instead of pushing you through. Spend 5 minutes, tomorrow morning, writing down the one thing that, if you did more of it, would make the rest of the day feel worth it. That single act of clarity does something no supplement and no workout can replicate. It lowers the hormonal ceiling that's been keeping your body locked in storage mode. Everything you've learned in this video only works at full power once this piece is in place. Your purpose lowers your cortisol permanently. You now have the complete 30-day Japanese cortisol method, 5 protocols, precisely sequenced across your morning, your meals, your evening, and your mindset. Here's exactly what you do starting tomorrow. First 7 days, your only priority is lowering the cortisol baseline, moderate movement, no crash dieting, consistent sleep, no heroics, just reset. From day 1, restructure every meal around the Ichiju Sansai framework. Warm liquid base, protein, fiber, fermented element, eaten every 4 to 5 hours without skipping. Flat blood sugar, quiet cortisol. Every morning, within 45 minutes of waking, you walk outside for 15 minutes in natural light, no phone, no podcasts, and let your body metabolize the cortisol awakening response before it can lock your fat cells shut for the day. Every evening, 90 minutes before bed, you take a 12-minute warm bath and protect the hormonal window that follows with dim light and 0 screens, so your body can finally enter the deep sleep phase where cortisol clears and fat is metabolized at the cellular level. And every single day, you give 5 minutes to identifying and protecting the one source of purpose that keeps your cortisol floor suppressed permanently. 5 steps. Morning, midday, evening. A complete hormonal environment redesigned from the ground up. Not a diet. Not a workout plan. A biological system that removes the invisible barrier that's been making every other approach fail. This isn't about trying harder. It was never about trying harder. It was always about understanding what your body actually needed. And now you do. Tomorrow morning is the starting line. Don't walk past it. 5 steps. 1 system. Start tomorrow.